Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Season 1, Episode 3. It's called Chapter 3, The Trial of Sabrina Spellman. So full spoilers for the episode, as always.
I was going to congratulate you on getting the title right first time. Then you went and ruined it and said season, so no congratulations for you.
No, I'm sticking with season. I'm making a stance.
It's the wrong stance.
I'm making a stance. So, yes, so we have a trial because Sabrina broke her promise to the Dark Lord by not signing the book.
Yep.
And we get a bit of a witch court case, because in witch court apparently you're guilty until proven innocent.
Obviously.
And we have what was it, Blackwood. He's also the DA essentially for Satan, because of course he is.
Yeah, of course.
And the entire coven come by, and they all have to endure this. And of course, the aunts are like, I say the aunts. Zelda is like, you will apologize, you will beg for mercy, and you request that everything be forgiven, and you do what you're told. Blah 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 blah, as she does, because they've lost their powers. Part of the punishment here is because they're the guardians. Their magic's been taken away, and now they're actually starting to age rapidly because they've been alive for a long time. So
Yes.
we see them get kind of wrinklier as the episode goes on, and their hair's going. And I think thematically, again, this kind of all lines up of like, if you step out of line, we treat you worse, and the idea of the in society, women are expected to look younger, or there's more of a stigma about getting older when you're a woman in society.
I think this one's just they're all like, because all of the witches and warlocks are like, no, we want to look good.
No, I'm just saying thematically in the writing.
Okay,
that,
sure.
Mixing this with the feminist themes that Sabrina's story has, I feel like there's maybe some just some texture there to go with the themes. That as soon as it's resolved to get to be young again, and everyone sees them as pretty again. It's the idea that the Dark Lord also controls that they look young on top of everything else.
Yeah, no, I get that element, but I don't know. Given that they, it applies to the men and the women this equally. Like, Ambrose is.
Oh no, it does. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying that specifically in this story, that because Sabrina stepped out of line, it's become the stick and the carrot. Whatever end makes more sense in this.
Yeah.
This comparison, but
Right.
so you've got that, and she goes and gets a lawyer, a human lawyer, but he's a human lawyer that knows witch law.
Yes,
And
recommended by Ambrose.
yes, who turns out to know Sabrina's parents, her father specifically, and her father helped him out. So even though he's retired, and if first they shoos her away, he shows up. Again, kind of almost cheesy TV courtroom scene where he bursts in the door at the right moment because no, I'm a lawyer, damn it.
Yeah, he comes in. It's like she says not guilty.
Yes. He's a good actor. What's his name?
Yeah.
Rubinstein. I want to say Rubinstein. Where's his name? Yeah, John Rubinstein. He's a face you recognise. He's been in a bunch of stuff. But he very charismatic. He kind of steals that scene a little bit. It's almost because you've got Blackwood being as hammy as possible.
In the best possible way, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's not a criticism. He's kind of delightfully hammy.
Yeah.
And then you've got Rubinstein kind of countering it with a more.
Blackwood is doing almost the actor's almost doing as if he was playing Dracula.
Almost. Yes.
That's the kind of thing he's going for, and it's working for me.
Almost, yeah. He's entertaining, and I thought Rubinstein was entertaining. And then, so you get the courtroom, and then you got the revelations that come up throughout, and the kid's like, oh well, she's half human, so technically she should be also half under human law. It shouldn't be completely under witch law, and maybe we should try her as a human, where you are innocent until proven guilty. And then it becomes a question of proving how much of a witch or a human she is, and Blackwood, of course, getting kind of cat here is like, well, we'll test it like humans do then. We'll throw her in the water and see if she drowns.
This is the stuff I really enjoyed. Okay, we'll just do the loopholes and take what you say and twist it in the best possible way. It's proper lawyer speak, but in all the witchy stuff.
Which I like, because it actually kind of relates to when you find out about things backstory. That becomes a whole big thing, is the idea that Satan's a trickster. He'll promise you something, but then it'll be his spin on it, and it'll be like, because he sold his soul essentially, and as he puts it in a different book, not the same one that the witches sign, but he signed a book to become a great lawyer, and he became a great lawyer. But then after a while, he noticed that all the cases he was getting, he was defending all of these horrible murderers and rapists and just the worst of the worst. Which I think what's interesting to me about that is that even though the show is very dark and it signs, oh, it's all about Satan and they're all witches and it's about, praise Satan, we're praising Satan left and right. This is the first time where it's actually connected it to real world kind of horrific things, where it's like, no, these were serial killers and shit that were murdering people, and then it happened to his own daughter.
Including his daughter,
yeah. And I was like, oh man, that's actually really dark. And it actually, because before it's really cartoon evil, right? You're just kind of having fun with how evil it is. But this is like, no, this is actually connecting to real, like, awful things that are happening. It adds a bit of weight to it a little bit.
It does.
Yeah. So when you go back to the first episode and Blackwood's like, oh, no, we're not evil. There's no such thing as good and evil. It's just, Satan gives you the choice.
It's all about freedom.
Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah.
Call it bullshit right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I called bullshit at the time, but I especially call bullshit now.
Big time bullshit.
So yeah, and we see Wardwell's just kind of around a lot in this episode. She keeps, she comes to Blackwood, but she's there to antagonize the lawyer. And she's kind of like, showing the dead daughter and kind of convince her things. She's there in the school. She's always peeping up like out of nowhere just to interfere and manipulate.
I liked, or I appreciated the scene between her and Blackwood to kind of explain, because I mentioned last episode that I was actually really confused that it seemed out of nowhere that she was actually, working for the Dark Lord as well. It was like it was all part of the plan. This kind of contextualizes her job a little. I still think it was a little weird and misleading for the first 2 episodes, but
I'd say the first episode, yeah. The second one kind of it was only weird in the second one because the first one made us think that she was kind of a rogue agent.
Yeah, but it was only the end of the second one that set it straight. So
that's contextualized it, and it said no. She this is her job. Typically, she pushes them towards. Again, it's the idea that it's presented as free will and a choice to sign the book, but all these various elements are there to kind of push her in the direction. It's like she's there to and now her job is going to be to take away her support system, take away her friends, her family, or the mortal support system. The idea that she'll want to become, because obviously ultimately the way they kind of half win the case, so she doesn't have to burn in hell for 300 years when she dies, which was one of the punishments.
Yeah,
is that so the big thing that puts a damper in the court case is that they show that her father, Sabrina's father, signed away her life like 3 days after she was born.
Yep.
And of course, this is the first time it's like her parents aren't perfect people. It's like, oh wait, is her father actually a dickhead? like, is he actually evil? Was it mother versus father?
Yeah, and then we learned that there was a deal. It's like, okay, you can marry the mortal woman, essentially in exchange for your firstborn. That's the classic wording.
And then this is counteracted because, and it's actually Hilda who brings it in and says, no, look. This is, because actually I loved, because they proved that she was baptized as a Christian a day before the dark baptism promise, right? And that obviously completely, and I loved how Webster, the way he slammed the book, because he was like, it's null and void, as he slams it. It really made me laugh.
Me too.
But no, really digging all this stuff, and she's still going to go to the school of the Academy of the Unseen Arts, so we're still going to get to see that. We're still going to see more of the Weird Sisters, I assume, because of this. Yeah. And that's cool. I guess you get a Hogwartsy side of things, but she doesn't have to leave her mortal life. She still has to get her friends and her family and blah, blah, blah. Well, not her family were never in question because it was just her aunts, but, she doesn't have to give up Harvey and their friends. And, okay, right, so that's obviously we wanted both those things to continue in the show because that's kind of the premise of the show. That makes a lot of sense. It's a way to have both. Which reminds me, actually, let's had a recap at the start that you could skip, which I did skip, and it's good that they give you the option because, but it's actually, I think it's kind of interesting Netflix having recaps at the start of each episode that you can watch if you want, if it's been a while. You can be like, it's been a week, Did you not?
No.
I get a specific recap that just recapped the first 2 episodes.
Before the opening title? Because mine jumped straight into the opening titles.
No, before the opening titles. It gave me a recap. That I had the option of skipping.
Huh.
It was like a traditional previously on, essentially.
No, mine jumped straight into the opening.
Well, it's there. I mean, I don't know what triggers it, but it was there.
Weird. Oh, okay.
And it's the first time I've ever seen Netflix do that. That's not been a season opener.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Weird.
But yeah, but no. I like the loophole. I say it's a loophole. It's just more of a Technicality, yeah. And obviously we still have this thing, and I actually really like what Webster says to her, because she's like, "Hey, do you want to come back to celebrate?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm old and tired, and I'm gonna go home." But I really like the line of dialogue he says before he leaves, like, "No one's ever beaten the devil, but you just might stand a chance." And walks off. I thought, okay, right, that sets up. It's kind of that thing where it's a tricky line to walk on any kind of story, because if you just paint your character as the chosen one who can do anything, it's not that entertaining. But it's still something you actually kind of have to straddle a lot of the time in fiction, because you have to present this idea that this is really hard, but our main character might just be the first one who can do it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to compare it to the television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer for a second, because I think it's relevant. The whole thing in Buffy is that she becomes a better Slayer and lasts longer than the other Slayers, because she's the first Slayer to have a support system, to have the Scooby Gang and all that kind of thing. And I think one of the key things that makes this premise work, this idea that this is impossible, no one's ever done it, but you just might be able to, is the idea that there is something fundamentally different to her to all the previous witches. And that is that she's going to keep her mortal life, and that she'll have this different side of her that's part of her life.
Sure.
And the strengths and the weaknesses that come with that. And, Carter's just going to be a cynical sure, because he just wants me to shut up. But
No, because I really think you could have made this point without referencing Buffy. It would have worked just as well. You're
actually salty because I'm using another example to make my point clear.
Irrelevantly, yes.
Not irrelevant. It's a fantastic point.
It's just so you can get your reference in, and that's it.
Instead of facilitating the conversation, taking it further because I brought up a good point, you're just being salty and sticking your heel on the ground and going, "No, you made a Buffy reference. We're going to stop and chastise that for a second."
Yes, I am.
Shut up. But the point I'm making is that because she's different from every other witch, and arguably every other mortal, because she has a foot in both worlds, and that gives her the strengths, ideally, of both, maybe the weaknesses of both as well, potentially, but it's this idea that she'll think about things different, she'll look at things differently, and everyone will tell her, "No, you can't do that," but she'll defy them, and that's obviously tying back into more the feminist side of the show, where the themes are still very much churning along every episode. It's one of these things where if someone said, "Oh, I don't like how political it can be," it hints at these things, I'm like, no, that is a fundamental baked into the show. That is a fundamental part of this. It would not work without it. That is half the weight of this show, is what it's saying about those issues. So.
That's fair.
But I thought all that stuff was great. I've nothing to complain about with any of that side of things.
Oh, me either.
No, trial was great. Lawyer was great. Aunties were great. The idea that Hilda as well is going to be excommunicated from the coven for what she's done.
Terrified
because she helped with the baptism, the christening. So we'll see what that means. Meanwhile, the murder of the witch that what's his face, Ambrose, is looking into. We get a little bit more of that in that he meets the witch's friend, or the warlock's friend, I should be specific.
Yes, familiar.
And he has a bit of a fling with the dude, Luke. And that's basically the familiar dies, though, of course, which is the kind of sad ending to it. But it's a little subplot just to keep that ticking.
There was a really nice little line where, he's hitting it off with the guy at the little, downstairs when everyone's there.
Oh yeah, you got right away that this was flirting and that this was.
Yeah, but there's a specific thing I really liked is he invites him up and he's like, "Oh, maybe some other time," and then later he's just in the room and Ambrose is like, "Oh, how did you get in here?" And he goes, "Oh, well, you invited me in, remember?" And he goes, "Vampire?" And I'm really glad because that was the first thing that crossed my mind as well. And he's like, "No, just a warlock like you." It's cool.
Hey, if we introduce vampires, those Buffy references are going to come thicker and faster. You can.
Well, I mean, this confirms that vampires exist if he's just saying that, pretty nonchalantly.
Yeah. I think the phrasing almost felt like, though, it could have just been a joke about pop culture, as opposed to vampires actually exist. Are you actually a vampire? I
mean, it could have been, but the way he said it felt
they probably do. I buy that they exist in this world. It makes sense. But
that said, he is very deadpan, so...
He is. He's a very deadpan dude.
It would be easy to read it wrong.
Yeah, so that kind of actually what I liked, what I really liked is because he doesn't know if he's a warlock yet when he's talking to him downstairs, and they're talking about the lizard.
Try to test him. It's like, "Oh, are you familiar?"
Yeah, that was that sentence. I thought it was really nice. It was just the cheese of saying it. Are you familiar with this type of lizard? That really made me laugh. Yeah, I liked it. So we find out Roz Buffy. It's on the brain there.
God damn it.
That was a slip. I did not mean that. So we found out that Roz, Sabrina's best friend, is going blind, and one of the main plots in the school in this episode is that she's pissed that what was the book?
I don't remember.
Oh, I can't remember the book. He mentioned Clockwork Orange at one point, but I don't remember the book she was actually fussed about.
One I've not read, so
Yes.
so I've forgotten about it already.
Cat, you have been demoted to second familiar. Go. Leave. Stop causing chaos. All right. So Roz go blind, and she's pissed that she was doing a book report in one of the classes, and she was turned down. The book was inappropriate, and she was like, "Oh, they're banning books. We're not allowed to read certain books." And she confronts the principal about this. Sabrina's notably scared to be with the principal because of the moment where the Dark Lord possessed him. It doesn't. It seems to still be him now. It's not like he took over permanently. I think he just kind of borrowed.
No, I think he just borrowed him. Yeah.
So she's kind of like hesitant. She's right over by the door. She's got her hand in the door handle just in case. So I'm going to run. I'm going to do a runner if this goes bad. And he's like, no, we do not ban books at this high school. I just want to make that clear. And then they continue talking. It's like, oh, she would have equally told you not to do Clockwork Orange or this book or that book because of the content. Is it, but not banned. Not banned. He said they're not banned, but then they're essentially banned. Especially when they go to the library and find out that all of the books, all these risque books,
missing,
are all missing. And the librarian even kind of confirms that there was a soft purge. I think she said that was the phrase. They get pissed, and there is a stink. And they basically convinced the principal. He arranges a PTA meeting for them to go and discuss it and consider the issue. But we find out why she's so hell-bent in this is because she's actually going blind, and in a few months' time she'll not be able to read any more books. And
yeah, I mean, she can just read it anyway.
Oh, she could. I don't think it's literally that she won't have a chance to read it.
I know.
It's the principle of the matter. It stings.
I get it. This is why they invented audiobooks.
I knew you were going to say that. See, when I was watching this episode and she was saying, soon I won't be able to read anymore, I knew you were going to say audiobooks. I knew you were going to be a cynical dick and say, it doesn't matter, you've got audiobooks. Yes, because going blind is not a problem in Connor's world, because audiobooks exist.
Well, I'm not saying there are not other problems that come with being blind. Clearly there are. Just reading books is probably the least of your worries.
Maybe you like reading it and hearing your own voice in your head, rather than hearing someone else say it to you.
I get it. I always choose a book over an audiobook, but I can still experience the story if I want to.
Sometimes you lack empathy on a scale that is is gargantuan. A big ginger gargantuan beast.
You're getting worse at saying that every time.
Because I like to say ginger gargantuan because it's not soft G, but. That was silly. I didn't do it. I backed out at the last moment, and it sounded a bit iffy. The school plot was fine. I thought it wasn't as fun as the rest of the stuff, but I don't dislike it as much as you do. I don't think.
I find it. It's not that I think it's really bad. I just find it tedious. I feel like I'm going through the motions. On that stuff, it doesn't have any character like all the other side of things does.
I thought it had a little bit of character. I thought the way cut the music in and they came storming into the library had a bit of a pace behind it. I was kind of enjoying it for what it was.
I will say I don't think it was bad as the Harvey stuff. Ugh.
Oh, I'm getting to Harvey stuff. I just want to say Wardell's part of the new secret book club, so she's staying very close and keeping tabs on Sabrina and her friends. I actually started to wonder, because there's that one moment where she makes Rosie's eyes go even weirder, and I was wondering, like, is the blindness at all just her? Like, is she just making her friend go blind just for the?
I don't think so. I think the way she talks about it, I think it's been something that's happening for a while. Because she says, she's got about 3 months. I don't think this is from overnight. You've got 3 months left. I think this has been going on for a while.
That makes sense. We are fully convinced, though, that witchcraft will fix this, though, before it happens, right?
Probably.
Or maybe after it happens. Maybe she'll be blind for a little bit, and Sabrina will do a bit of trickery. And
almost certainly.
Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, why wouldn't she?
Oh, disappointing. Would have been nice just to leave her blind. No, I mean in the sense of having consequences. and like you can't just fix everything.
Yeah, but what was that consequences of?
Life.
Yeah, but it's not Sabrina's fault she's going blind.
No, it's not. But I mean, I just don't want everything just, oh, we'll fix it with magic. I don't want everything to be like that.
Yeah, but of course she's going to try.
I know she's going to try. I just don't know if I want it to work or not. There's a difference.
Again, empathy, not Connor's strong suit.
Oh, I'm not saying she shouldn't try. I'm not saying that, oh, being blind is better. I'm saying storytelling perspective, I might prefer it if ultimately she fails and she has to stay blind.
I don't see. I think it's too early to know what that serves yet to actually have a stance on whether or not you're like, no, they should do the darker option because this will do this for the characters. But right now, I'm like, what does that do for the characters specifically?
Teaches them a lesson.
Teaches them what lesson?
That you can't just fix everything with magic.
And I'm sure that'll be a lesson at some point. I'm not sure if Frank going
Well, this
blind
is a prime opportunity for that lesson.
What? God, you're so freaking weird at times. Right. Harvey's stuff was definitely the worst of the episode, and I didn't necessarily hate. I at least liked his brother kind of sticking up for him. That side of it was okay, but the dad was.
Ugh, yeah.
He was rough. He was TV cliche 101, abusive father.
Pretty much.
Not understanding anything his son is or wants to be or whatever.
Yeah, there's nothing going on in this plot that is interesting.
Yeah. It was such a small part. There was only a couple of scenes. I'm hoping that will never be more than that because it'll come back to it. I'm sure at some point, but if it sticks to that, I mean,
suppose we have to.
Whatever. It was the only part of the episode I would describe as outright weak.
Yeah, that was definitely like, I'm not really feeling the school stuff, and I said I felt it was tedious, but it's not bad. Whereas this I do think is pretty badly done.
I'm fine with the school stuff, but Harvey's dad was rough going.
Yeah, it was.
Him having his flashback to where he saw the Dark Lord in the mine was okay though. I'm like, okay, I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah.
He saw the Dark Lord, okay. Is that important, or is it just a coincidence? Is it a happenstance that he stumbled into the Dark Lord at one point, or is it maybe a foreshadowing of something to come?
Yeah, it could be.
It could be. Well, so no. But no. So no, it was a really good episode though. I obviously the lens effects still a pain in the ass, the blurring, but we're going to play about every episode, so
there was only a couple of points where it was obnoxiously bad, and again, one of them was when it was watching Salem.
Oh yeah, he's out. Yeah, I noticed this one. It was when he was outside on the grass, and there was it was like maybe 30% in the middle was in focus, and then the rest of the sides were just blurry as shit. And it feels really unnatural, which is why I don't like it. But hey ho. So no, I don't know if that's because again, if we tie it to those like extensive magic use, we're saying, if Salem's around, it's going to be like that because he's actually a different creature, and the whole thing is that he's this presence. Then
the problem is, it doesn't even always feel like it's because we know they can't decide if it's extensive magic use or because we saw the start of episode 2. It was when she was feeling trapped. Right, in the questioning with Blackwood, and there was no actual magic going on there. It was just her feeling.
Sure, yeah.
So it's like, okay, that's two completely different things they're using this same effect for now.
Yeah, I don't know, but hey, we won't harp on about it because we've talked about it enough. So, but that is episode 3 of Sabrina, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, aka Chilling Tales of Sabrina.
It's a title.
Just because I say it accidentally a lot. But that's why.
Yeah.
So, let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. We'll be back with episode 4 and another day after tomorrow. That's typically the schedule for this, is the day after tomorrow. Every time one goes up is when the next one's going up. So you can look forward to that. Let us know what you thought in the comments. If you want to support the channel and everything we do here, head over to patreon.com/MailFuzzTV, and you can do that over there for as little as $1 per month, and it would be greatly appreciated if you have a look. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?